Alright guys, welcome to another freezing day in the UK, as you can probably tell. Very jealous of you guys in San Diego or Australia or wherever. I've got a client in the Canaries right now who's on the beach as we speak. So yeah, you are all very lucky. But yeah, today I want to talk quickly about herbs for cortisol. Which ones are the best ones, because obviously stress is extremely problematic for testosterone. You know, the higher your stress levels are, cortisol being the main one, chronic cortisol this is, and also adrenaline and a few others, but it gets a little bit complicated. But cortisol's the big one. The higher these are, the lower your test is going to be, as a general rule of thumb. And it's becoming more and more of an issue with guys and the lifestyles they're living. Very, very stressful lifestyles. It's very, very difficult to have a good job and like a bunch of kids and a stressful lifestyle and not be stressed and have that not impact your test. So yeah, herbs are very useful. Ashwaganda is one that gets a lot of attention, and I get a lot of questions on ashwaganda. The truth is, it's hit and miss. You're going to have to experiment with ashwaganda. Some people have really good results from it. Myself, it's decent for. My brother has really good results from it. Some people either experience nothing or they have problems. Like, it seems to be really hit and miss with ashwaganda. It's worth trying though. It's definitely worth trying. 500 milligrams, that kind of range, to 750 maybe. Tonka Ali definitely works for cortisol. It's not just testosterone and DHT, it's also cortisol reduction as well. The issues with Tonka Ali, as I've mentioned before, is it does tax the liver slightly more. So it's something to be aware of. You'll need to cycle it. And it also causes issues with guys who are predisposed to male pattern baldness as well. So there's a couple of things to keep in mind. But Tonka Ali just fixes so many things with the testosterone side of things. So it's definitely worth looking into if you haven't already. Oh, and I'll link the Nootropics brand that I use and I suggest a lot of people use in the video description as well. So that's another one. Rhodiola is another one, which is legit for cortisol. I don't think people have as many problems with rhodiola as compared to ashwagandha. So that might be something to look into if ashwagandha doesn't work for you, or just to stack on top of your current stack, regardless of whether you're having success with it. I don't think you can really fail. I don't think you can really mess it up with rhodiola, so it's definitely worth looking into. And then I know this isn't quite as useful because you can't fully control these factors, especially if you've got little kids. But two of the most powerful things for cortisol are going to be sleep and the sun. The sun in particular, especially when it's warm, especially in the morning when you get some sunlight, because it'll impact your sleep massively, is huge for cortisol and a bunch of things like serotonin and endorphins and controlling the stress response. The sun is massive, and I realised you can't control that more than anyone else right now, but the sun is huge, and sleep is massive. You have a little more control over this than most people realise, but sleep is huge for controlling the cortisol, and obviously the most test you produce is literally at like 4 in the morning onwards if you're asleep. So if you're not asleep, you're seriously missing out on this. That's when the morning wood's at its highest and your testosterone is at its highest in terms of secretion. Red light therapy is a very good alternative, or a decent alternative, especially in the morning if the sun's not really there, like it's not here. The sun is still better, but red light therapy for like 40 minutes every morning is a good alternative. But sleep is massive. And yeah, and then the herbs kind of stack on top of this. I mean, if you've got terrible sleep, herbs won't fix that. And if you've not seen the sun in 5 months, then herbs, again, they're not going to completely undo that. But herbs are useful because they're so quick and so easy. You can't really lose, like they're only going to benefit you. So I have an entire ebook on this, The Ultimate Guide to Testosterone Herbs. I'll link that below. Makes it all a lot easier. There's a breakdown of every single herb, not just for cortisol reasons, but for like sexual performance, estrogen control, anything you can basically think of. And there's different herbs for different goals that you might have. And it's all very, very neat. It's all together. It makes things easier rather than Googling around and getting a load of conflicting advice from questionable websites. It's all in one place. Brand recommendations are in there. Dosage schedules. What else is there? There's like different stack recommendations for beginners versus advanced. Like there's loads of good stuff in there. But yeah, herbs are quick and easy. I still think you need the fundamentals first. If you're sleeping 4 hours a night, man, you've got to fix that first. But herbs make things easier, very quick, very fast, very efficient. So that's where they're helpful. That's it for now. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.